I'm at a cemetery here in Dodge County, Nebraska, that once served two Irish Catholic settlements. One that was 2 miles southeast of here in Dodge County, and one 4 miles west in Colfax County. Interestingly, these two Catholic churches shared the same name. Welcome to St. Patrick's Cemetery of Clyde, Dublin. This cemetery here in Dodge County was connected to two Irish churches, both dedicated to St. Patrick. Clyde in Dodge County and Dublin in Colfax County. Clyde and Dublin had their beginnings around the year 1870 with the arrival of a group of Irish from Pennsylvania. Originally, Clyde was called Pleasant Valley, the name of a nearby post office, and Dublin was first called Ryan's Settlement. For a number of years, the religious needs of these settlers were taken care of by priests from St. Patrick's in Fremont, with Mass being said in homes. The first mention of these Catholic stations in the official Catholic directory comes from 1877, when Ryan's Settlement in Colfax County was occasionally attended from Fremont. The following year, the frequency of visits had increased to once a month, and by 1879, Father John Lonergan from St. Patrick's in Fremont was visiting both Ryan's Settlement in Colfax County and Pleasant Valley in Dodge County about 3 times a month. In 1882, 40 acres here on Kelly's Hill was obtained to be used for a cemetery. The cemetery was first marked on an 1885 Dodge County map. The two communities hoped to build a single church to serve the needs of both, and after much discussion of where, and with the problem of having to cross the Maple Creek, they each decided to build their own church. The names of the two Catholic stations are given for the first time in the 1881 official Catholic directory: St. Patrick at Ryan's Settlement and St. Bridget at Pleasant Valley. The name of St. Bridget for Pleasant Valley only appears a couple times, before it's also called St. Patrick from 1887 onward. I'm at the location where the Clyde Church was built, 2 miles southeast of the cemetery. Land had been acquired from Martin Gowan upon which to build a church at Clyde in 1881, but construction of the church didn't begin until 1884. All parish families were involved in the construction of the wood frame church. The church was dedicated in 1885 as St. Patrick's Church of Pleasant Valley. The Pleasant Valley Post Office had been established in 1872, about 2 miles northeast of the cemetery. Then, in 1896, Hugh Gowan, son of Martin Gowan, opened a post office and store here, just east of the church, calling it Clyde. There was also a general store south across this road for a time. The church and Clyde Post Office are labeled on a 1902 county map. While both Pleasant Valley and Clyde post offices closed in 1903, the name of Clyde stuck. I'm now at the location where the Dublin church was built. At Ryan's Settlement, Mass was first celebrated in the school a mile east of here from 1881 until 1884. Their church, St. Patrick, was built and dedicated at this spot in 1885, the same year as St. Patrick's at Clyde. The 1885 official Catholic directory lists both locations as having new churches that year. An 1885 map of Colfax County marks a Catholic church at this location. An 1899 county map refers to this church as the Dublin Catholic Church. Ryan's Settlement was first referred to as Dublin in the 1892 official Catholic directory. From 1893 to 1918, St. Patrick's at Dublin was attended by priests from St. Augustine in Schuyler. During this time, Clyde was attended by priests first from St. Mary in Ridgely and then from St. Charles at North Bend. When St. Charles Borromeo's brick church was built in 1915, the Clyde community here donated the St. Joseph's side altar for that church. Father Patrick R. Kelly came in the year 1917, and a parish house at Clyde was finished by 1919. A 1918 article from the True Voice says that Dublin was made a parish with Clyde as its mission, but all other sources that I found confirm that Clyde was the parish with Dublin as the mission. The official Catholic directory confirms that the priest was resident here at Clyde with Dublin as its mission for the rest of the two parishes' existence. After Father Kelly, Father Dennis Tian was pastor of Clyde in Dublin for 16 years from 1923 to 1939. As one example of parish life, I found a 1947 advertisement for an annual chicken dinner held here at Clyde. In 1912, a native son of the Clyde parish, Thomas Martin, was ordained a Jesuit priest. In 1962, Father Martin returned here to offer a Golden Jubilee Mass at St. Patrick's. In his homily, he reflected on how churches were closing because no priests were available to minister to the spiritual needs of parishioners. He said, "Boys and girls are sometimes afraid to ask about vocations lest they be laughed at. One way to make sure of a vocation is to pray to the Sacred Heart and the Blessed Virgin, who are always close by and listening." 11 years later, the lack of priests had direct effect on the parishes at Clyde and Dublin. In 1973, the Dublin church was notified that it would close, and Clyde would become a mission church once again. Many meetings were held to discuss the fate of Clyde, and on May 23, 1973, a delegation went to the bishop with the request that the Clyde church also be closed. On June 10, 1973, a sale was held to dispense of the two churches, the house, and belongings. As of 2005, the Clyde church building was being used as machine storage, and the former rectory continues to exist as a home behind me today. In both locations, you can find markers showing where the church once was, with an image of the church, and both with the dates of 1885 to 1973, as well as mention that they were founded by Irish immigrants. Mass can be found celebrated today about 12 miles away at St. Mary's and St. Augustine in Schuyler.